Sonic Colors, released in November 16, 2010. Exclusively for the Wii, ported for modern hardware on September 7, 2021. Sonic Colors is one of the early boost games of the series. After the release of Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Team examined criticisms of that game, examining how many people favored the modern Sonic stages. This game would be the focus of that boost gameplay, having a balance of speed and platforming, and introducing the Wisps, which would diversify the gameplay, changing things up. To platinum this game, we're gonna do this in 2 stages. Playthrough 1. Complete the story, and then playthrough 2, cleanup, get every collectible in the game as well as any other bonus content required, and playthrough 3, the Egg Shuttle trophy. I'll go over that when the time comes. Sonic Colors is set in Eggman's Interstellar Amusement Park. Game opens up with Sonic speeding through the entrance to Tropical Resort, breaks out a bunch of wisps, and we see our first cutscene. Who knows if the devs meant for this cutscene to trigger before or after the first level? I find it weird it triggers after the first level. We get a couple trophies in Tropical Resort, like A student for getting an A rank on any act, and the trophy Why Are Records Made to Be Broken for setting a personal record and smashing all the numbers on the screen. We eventually find out that Eggman is capturing all the wisps to harness their energy for something that is yet to be revealed. Then we start the first boss in the game. During this boss, I got the trophy My Body is a Weapon for destroying 50 enemies using the homing attack. You get this by just playing the game, but I got it during the first boss. I also got the trophy All I Got Is This Tropical Resort t-shirt for completing the Tropical Resort area. And after the resort, we move on to Sweet Mountain. And really from here, there's really not a lot of trophies we get other than the world completion ones by just beating each world. Along the way, you do get many miscellaneous trophies as well, like Destroyer for using homing attacks on 100 enemies, Stepping Up, score 100k points in one run using Quick Step, Stay on Target, destroy 100 enemies using the Sweet Spot homing attack. In case you don't know what the Sweet Spot homing attack is, whenever the homing attack cursor pops up, a gauge appears. It is easy to miss given you only see this for 3 seconds, but if you time it right and attack when the gauge hits this green area, the sweet spot, you'll do a Sweet Spot homing attack. And you'll also gain a bit of boost for the boost gauge. There are also a set of boss trophies. I don't get much of them in my first playthrough, but during my first visit to Planet Wisps, I did get Eye of the Hedgehog for defeating Refreshinator with less than 3 hits, and I also got the Ooh Shiny for getting my first S rank in the game. Yes, it took me to this boss to get my first S rank. I'll talk about this game's S rank requirements later. During Aquarium Park, I get the trophy Precious for collecting 300 rings in one run, and also got the complete set for collecting all 5 red star rings in any level, along with Reach for the Stars for getting all 5 red rings in one single run of any level. Before proceeding on to Asteroid Coaster, I tried out the bonus levels and got the trophy Take That Me for beating a previous personal best. Moving on to Asteroid Coaster, I finally got the trophy Breaking Ranks for breaking every rank from D to S on the results screen. Eventually the story finally progresses. Sonic discovers where Eggman is turning the wisps into these negative wisps, which are named Frenzy in the game, converting them for their energy in order to charge his mind control antenna. He's basically planning to mind control the entire planet. Next up, we beat the boss for Asteroid Planet and just suddenly free a lot of them. Of course, it doesn't stop Eggman from activating his antenna, and unfortunately everything backfires on him. And now the amusement park is set to blow, starting our last world for this game, Terminal Velocity, which really only has 3 levels. 1 chase level, and the final boss. We face off against Eggman's Wisp mech, which, like all the bosses in the game, isn't too hard. All the wisps come together to help Sonic deliver the final blow, and we get the trophy, I foiled a plot, and I liked it. Last thing to do is to run like hell and escape, and the credits roll. And we get our last trophy, giving credit where credit is due. Alright, with the story now complete, it's time to start playthrough 2. The collectible and other miscellaneous cleanup run. So the key trophy that we really are trying to work towards is unlocking Supersonic, and of course getting all the 100% world trophies along the way. But unlocking Supersonic is the next goal here. To 100% a world, we have to collect all the red rings in every level. And not just that, but we have to S rank every level as well, including boss fights, in order to achieve 100% completion. That does seem hard, especially glancing at my overall results in my first playthrough. I barely got any S ranks in any of these levels. I had a feeling that this wasn't really going to be a good time. I replayed some levels just to see what exactly does it take to achieve S rank, and after replaying some of the best levels in the game, I still wasn't getting any S ranks. I was getting A ranks, but we need S ranks. I then decided to just focus on collecting the red rings. And it was after 3 levels of collecting red rings was when I realized what I needed to do. So to get S ranks, you need to achieve a high score within each level. The S ranks are score based, not time based. I thought at first they were time based because you know, the whole point of these Sonic games is to go fast. So I assumed they were time based, which they're not. And the most simple way to achieve S ranks in every level is to collect all 5 red rings in one go in an efficient amount of time. 2 key things to know. Red rings give you a score. Using the wisps gives you a lot of score. For some of these lengthy levels, you need to abuse the wisps repeatedly in order to get your high score high enough to get the S rank. So any stage with the drill wisp, find an area to do loops, maybe less than a minute or so, then complete the level. But for most levels, especially the short ones, getting all the red rings in one go guarantees you an S rank, at least from my experience. Some levels were tricky. Heck, for probably 5 levels, collecting all the red rings and abusing the wisps wasn't enough. Because in these late levels, I discovered if you mess around for too long, the score counter will stop counting. And that's because there's a hidden time limit. And when time runs out, everything you do becomes meaningless. And you'll likely not achieve the S rank, which is why you need to collect all the red rings in an efficient amount of time. One last thing in order to achieve 100% completion is to beat Metal Sonic in a race. This wasn't in the original game, this is something they added in Ultimate. This and Sonic's glove and shoe customization, little coins as well. These are really the only new things they added for the Ultimate version of the game. While thankfully you don't have to unlock every glove and shoe for a trophy, this game now requires you to beat Metal Sonic to achieve 100% completion, which is not a problem at all. All of these Metal Sonic Rush stages were honestly really easy. Anyways, as for the other trophies I had collected, the trophy you get no ring left collected for collecting all red rings in an area, and handing out the shiners for defeating the first boss in 3 hits or less. Oh, and that's another thing. Half the bosses in this game have 3 hits or less trophies, while the other bosses have only S rank trophies. After beating the first boss again, last thing we do to get full 100% for the area, I got the trophy, Tropical Dominion, for 100%ing Tropical Resort. And just rinse and repeat this process for every area in the game, and also trying to get every red ring and S rank along the way. While collecting the red rings, we do unlock new special stages. These special stages are associated with the Chaos Emeralds. So in order to unlock Super Sonic, we not only have to get all the red rings, but we also have to complete these special stages. Each special stage world has 3 levels each. And after beating the 3rd level, we acquire the Chaos Emerald and get the associated trophy. Of course, I saved getting these Chaos Emeralds for last, and just simply continued trying to 100% every level in the game. Like I said, some levels were tricky. Most tricky levels were the last levels of Asteroid Coaster, trying to achieve that S rank, and I remember that one level from Aquarium Park. Anyways, after collecting the final red ring, we get Superstar for getting every red ring in the game. Next thing to do is to complete all the special stages and get all 7 Chaos Emerald trophies, while also getting all the other 100% trophies. And with Supersonic finally unlocked, if we play any stage and transform into Supersonic, we get the trophy Flying Low. Last thing we need to do before starting our final playthrough is to get any remaining miscellaneous trophies. I already got many of the boss S rank trophies. Now I just need to get the last remaining 3 hit trophies. It seemed hard at first, but these bosses, honestly, they're not even a challenge at all. You just need to get the wisps and hit them with it. Surprisingly, they weren't that hard. And finally, the trophy, Harder Than You Think, where we have to complete a level without collecting a single ring. I did this on Tropical Resort Act 2. Like the trophy states, try not to pick up a single ring. In the 3D sections, you just hug the wall, but it is a lot trickier in the 2D sections. Just do the best you can to avoid collecting a ring, and you'll get the trophy. Again, I found this easy on Tropical Resort Act 2. Alright, it's finally time for the last playthrough. The Egg Shuttle Trophy. What is the Egg Shuttle? Basically, Egg Shuttle is this game's marathon mode, where you have to beat the entire game, excluding cutscenes, in one sitting. All stages and boss fights in one go. No supersonic as well. Before anyone thinks, wow, that seems like a lot. And on paper, it does. However, this game isn't really that long. Anyone who's played Sonic Colors knows that a lot of these other stages are pretty short. So really all we have to do is speedrun the game again. And to be honest with you, beating this game in one sitting really wasn't that bad. It actually didn't really take as long as I expected. If you want to know how long it took me to beat Egg Shuttle, 84 minutes, which is an hour and 24 minutes. This game isn't that long. And with that, we get our last trophy, Long Haul, and finally achieve the platinum. So overall, the platinum experience for Sonic Colors, it wasn't that bad. The only thing is that it is time consuming when it comes to the red ring collecting and also achieving those S ranks. It's not difficult. It was tricky at times, but not hard. Tricky. Only tricky. Maybe like 5 levels they really did try to hide those red rings. But again, with how short a lot of these levels were, it wasn't that bad going back to find them. The platinum experience overall was okay. Sonic Colors is one of those Sonic games that I guess I like. I mean, I wouldn't have gone through the trouble to platinum the game if I didn't like it. How would I rate this platinum? 10 being brutal, 1 being a freebie. For me, I give this game like a 3 out of 10. Didn't think it was that hard, but it was time consuming. It's nice to see this game get re-released, and cool to have it platinumed. Well, on to the next one, I guess. Anyways, that's gonna be it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.